It was the end of a hot summer. The air was dry, and dust lay heavy on the tongue. The fighting with the whites went on. I joined Chiefs Tall Bull and Pawnee Killer. Our medicine men danced for long stretches at a time, calling upon the Great Spirit. Manitou sent him a powerful vision, predicting great victory for our people. It was a good sign. We managed to surround a large troop of white scouts on an island and cut them off. The whites tried to defend themselves and built a camp. We crept close and disarmed their guns of thunder. It wasn't an easy task, for the Wasicans had many guards. Roman Nose came with some of his warriors and helped us fight the Palefaces. We laid siege to the island for a quarter moon, and it was our intention to leave no Paleface alive. In any case, we had to take care of their leaders, but we had to be quick, as fast as the beating wings of the mighty eagle, before the white men could send reinforcements to his scouts.
Welcome back to America, no peace beyond the line, and welcome to the next scenario for the Native Americans. And here we go. So we do get our first objective here immediately. We're supposed to destroy these cannons here. That's actually a trap. Well, it's not a real trap. It's difficult to destroy these cannons here, but you don't actually need to destroy the cannons to win the scenario here. In fact, you should not destroy them at all, because that's just going to waste resources. Instead, we're going to build that here. I suppose you guys here can, you know what, you can actually leave. And you can get yourself a horse. And you will do some hunting here. There we go. And you can start to chop some lumber here. Alright, let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more of you. Our actual goal is a different one, but we're only going to know that. We're only going to know about that later. Anyway, it's really annoying that we need a coral for animal processing, because you generally want that as swiftly as possible. But okay, let's get a couple more of you, and you can also chop some lumber here. We're going to need a lot of that, as usual. Do we even need an animal processing facility here? We may or may not require that, depending on how many bisons we actually have here, or buffaloes, whatever. And there's just some rock. Okay, that's exciting. Is there any gold here? Let's look out for that. In the meantime, let's also build, you know what, let's build a granary. Maybe here. The good thing is that the Americans just hang out on their island, and they don't actually have a base, or like a proper base or an economy or anything. So they're just going to hang out there and wait for us. So we don't have to worry about attacks, and we don't have to worry about them hoarding too many units in their base, which is rather convenient if you ask me. There we go. It's a lot of lumber we have here, but we're going to need a lot. You can get me this agricultural upgrade here, and we're also going to get this upgrade here, and probably, you know what, let's get a training TP. There we go, and you also cut me even more lumber. Since we're not really under pressure initially here, we may as well get as much. Oh, there we go, there's our gold mine. We may as well get as much lumber and whatnot before we even bother building our army. You can search for potentially more gold being available here, but we're going to get to that. We can also research the swimming ability in this scenario here, and that's going to allow most of our units to swim. Not quite all of them. Actually, I don't really need this horse here, but I do have a plan for that. you can build me the TP of the Elders. And then we are going to be completely out of gold, but okay. So horse, you get in here. You can help me with that. And you, chief, are just going to hang around here. And then we can start some agriculture soon as well. Guess we could speed that up a little bit with an animal processing facility, but we don't really need that, so I'm not going to bother. Okay, so far so good. We almost have a second upgrade. We almost have researched this upgrade here. I don't know why I announced that. That wasn't really all that important. But never mind. You can start agriculturing here. There we go. And you are going to get me a gold warehouse here, because that's a little bit too far away for our guys to carry that. And we're going to get maybe 2 more of you for all that gold. There we go, more agriculture, please. And then we can already research the mining upgrades. There we are. And then we're going to get Travois here as well. And you can build me another wood processing facility here. And you can start mining. There we go. And these upgrades here all require gold, so we'll have to wait a little bit for that, but that's okay. What else do you want? Probably a campfire. Yeah, the campfire will allow us to create fire archers. Those are generally stronger and a lot more efficient against buildings, which is great because most of our other units are not. Camouflage school, that will take a while as well. So you can all do some agriculture and then we're going to get more of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can just grow some more fields here. And in the meantime we're just going to gather more resources. Here we are. There we go, and you can start howling gold here. The second number here, next to your gold indicator, indicates how many units you have stored somewhere. Whereas the other one is the gold you actually actively have and you can utilize. Okay. Where do we want to build this? Let's just build it here. As said before, the Americans cannot swim. They can only transverse water with riverboat, but they don't have any here, so we are perfectly fine from them for the time being. And yeah, we could research these if we had enough food for that, which we don't have at the moment, but that's okay. That's why we're getting more fields here. You come over here. You can help out here. And once we have a nice economy, we're going to build some troops and we're going to go to that other island. We already have a lot of lumber to spare here. There we go. And we probably want even more in the near future. Okay, because we will also build a base on the other side of the river and we're also going to get more pop buildings set up and whatnot, so we want a good amount. 1, 2, let's get these upgrades here. There we go, another 100 gold. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say right now. This scenario is a little bit underwhelming and the main difficulty stems from the game not telling you what to do. Initially, that's actually going to help you win this scenario here. Also, the shroud doesn't come back over these cannons here, which is unusual. Usually they show you targets first, but then the fog comes back, not the shroud. But that doesn't happen here for some reason. Anyway, how much gold is left here? More than 1,000, that's actually pretty good. So one more woman here. And then we're going to get 5 more to build the rest of our buildings and also get more agriculture going in the near future. In the meantime, you just hang around here and look pretty. Because until you can swim, I don't really have much to do with you, or for you rather. So there's that. Yeah, you can land here, but it's not advised. There are other spots you can land at, so you don't even need the cannons to. You don't even need to defeat the cannons just to circumvent, or just to clear a way to a spot where you can build stuff. There's just no point at all in getting those done. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what I need. You can build me the camouflage school. The camouflage school is another tech building, and it teaches us camouflage as its name indicates, as well as swimming, which is the more important ability here. I think we don't even have camouflage in this specific scenario here, but that's okay. More workers, please. And there we go. And we're also going to need some workers to build up a new base on the other side, but we're going to get to that. Oh, and we need more pop as well. You know what, let's get a pop building now, because we are running very low here. And you can just interrupt the construction of buildings. There's no real downside, but they do have less health. This is one of those games that starts all buildings at 1 health when you prop them up first, so be advised that if any enemy is nearby, any attack will just destroy the building instantaneously and you will lose all the resources. So be a little bit careful with that. A couple more of you. Yeah, I think we do have enough lumber. I think we do. Then we're going to get these upgrades here once we can afford them. Because we want to get all the upgrades we can. Our units are somewhat brittle, but we also have a decent unit that don't cost any gold, so there's that. For example, the Mexicans and the Americans are a lot stronger individually, but they also require a lot of resources. Both of them have buildings that can actually generate gold, and indefinitely, but they do so really, really slowly, so it's not really the best method of doing that. There we go. Then a couple more tents, please. And you can help out here, because we have nothing else to do for you right now. Okay, I guess we could also build guys here, but we only want to establish a foothold on the other side, and then maybe build more guys there, just because it's more convenient, really. So we can get these flaming arrow shooters here, but they do cost gold. We can also get these ones here if we get our hands on any rifles, which we may or may not. It's decent, but and you can haul rifles from a warehouse with a travois like this, but it's also a bit of a hassle, so unless you really need them, you really want the extra firepower, oftentimes it's not really worth it in my opinion. But it can be worth it in some scenarios. Alright, you will not do much, but you are going to get me 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's maybe get 6 of these guys here, so we can get a decent amount of guys to secure our landing. And oh yeah, we should actually get that swimming ability, shouldn't we? It costs 400 food, so we're going to be here for a while anyway. You know what? We're going to abort this here, and we're going to get the swimming ability first, because that's also going to take a while to research, so we may as well get onto that while we can. Yep, watch that bar fill up. Dark blue on, like, slightly translucent dark blue. Not that great to see that, but that's totally okay. More of you, please. Arrow shooters. Do we have... Nope, looks like we don't have any more defense upgrades. That's okay. 20% damage reduction is already decent. Not amazing, and of course, since everybody gets the +1 damage, well, for arrows that is, or I think spearmen as well, I'm not entirely sure. That means that these guys here, relatively speaking, get the highest bonus. Also, fun fact, in case you wondered, yes, if you attack the campfire is going to start burning even more, even though that makes very limited sense. Let's put it that way. Since we do have all that lumber, we may as well get some more sleeping teepees, because we don't really have anything else to do for you, so why not expand a little bit. And yeah, this scenario's difficulty stems from the game actively misleading you in what you're actually supposed to do. But if you know that the enemy doesn't actually come for you, At least not until you provoke them on the island. Then you can just sit back and build up your economy properly. And this is not actually going to be all that bad. The scenario is also easy to soft lock, but we're going to get to that. So here we go. And that shall be the last one. Yeah, let's wait until these guys here are ready. And then we're going to get over to that island. Named after its current US American commander. I suppose that's how you could put that. And here we go. Let's wait for those two guys and then we'll go. Do we even have the... Yeah, we do have the swimming ability. Nice, nice. Is there actually... Are there actually cliffs down here? Because if not, then we can just go straight down here. Okay, so there's cliffs here. That's totally okay. We're just going to get over here with everyone. You two and Chief. We're not going to have you fight, but we may as well get... Okay, so you are done here. Just going to get that for no reason. And that means you can just get me even more lumber, even though I don't really need all that lumber, but also don't need all that pop, so I'm not really too worried about slots right now. And you can kill your units with one command, so you don't really have to worry about wasting pop slots permanently or having to have your units run deliberately into enemy fire just to sort out your pop counter. You can't destroy buildings deliberately, so you can't delete them like in Age of Empires 2. Which means if you... There are cases where you may want to destroy a building if you build the wrong building in the wrong spot or so. You can just have the enemy destroyed, I suppose. But you can't auto-target your own buildings either. So these guys are just going to swim through here. They can't fire from water. So keep that in mind. That's somewhat important because you're not really fast in water. So, it seems the Chief's actually a little bit faster. And the workers here, they are a little bit slower. So if someone's standing here, they can just gun you down and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So let's go through here. Whereas we're going to find a nice spot to land. Suppose we can build more of you already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just so we have something to do for our... We have something to do for our tent there. Because we can always send them over. It's not like we have to load units into transports here. That's probably the best about the Native Americans, that they can cross water here without having to load guys to transports and then unload them, then make sure that everybody actually left the transport, and then worry about having the transport being sunk by enemy cannons and losing everyone in there immediately. Okay, so it seems we have slight trouble getting into this mountain complex here, but let's see. I think there should be an opening somewhere here. That looks promising. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so you just wait here. You come over here. Oh, hey there, Trapper. I think we're going to kill you. No, you're not going to attack these guys here. Okay, more Trappers. That's okay, you attack my arrow guys. That's actually what I want. There we go. Awesome. This actually looks like a decent spot to just hang around. Speaking of hanging around, you actually need to hang around. Because if you... So the ultimate goal in this mission here is to kill the enemy commander and only that. But if you do that prematurely, you actually soft lock your game. Because you need to activate a certain trigger first. So this mission here is really poorly scripted in that regard. Because I can have enough troops to wipe out the enemy commander. I might be able to do it even now if I really wanted to. So yeah, there's a good chance that you will just do that prematurely, and they're pretty much rely on you just running into the cannons to just keep you down a little bit, so that's not really well designed. Anyway, going to get some flaming arrow shooters here. Let's just get all the ones we can, because there's no real reason not to. You guys here will join us down here. Yeah, and these guys can also swim indefinitely. Oh, some more trappers that just hang out here. That's okay, every trapper we kill now is a trapper we don't have to kill later. Awesome. Let's just build yet another one because there's no real reason not to do it. And let's get a bunch of arrow shooters here and to shoot all the arrows. These guys here also take longer to construct, but that's okay. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this scenario here for the time being. We're going to build up our forces here and everything's going to be alright. We don't need another tent because we're probably not going to have an income that's high enough to justify that. You know what, you can actually just build a granary here so we can do some agriculture. Yeah, let's just do that. We don't really need to, but we may as well because we have nothing else to do with you. I could kill these units here, but that's also not really necessary, so let's just have you do something vaguely useful. More trappers. Send a lot of those after us. Are they just patrolling all the woods here? Maybe. Anyway, oh, got the attention of the actual camp guards here. So there's this, oh, you please all die. So there's this camp here, and that's where all the American forces are, but they're just kind of hanging around there, they're not... Oh hey there, that's a nurse. Nurses can heal units. The Americans rely on nurses to do that for them instead of... Yeah, that's the healing noise you hear there. Instead of just automatically regenerating. Because not everybody does that. Okay, let's get more of you. Oh, man, these trappers, they're just everywhere, aren't they? But that's okay. We don't have enough food. That's totally okay. We'll have enough food soon. Okay, you just hang around here. And then we're just going to wait a little bit because we need to. So we could probably take the commander now, but you're not allowed to because if you do that now, then we're going to... What are you doing? Just attack these guys here. Don't just run past them. Occasionally what happens is that units try to encircle an enemy, so they just kind of walk past them and then fire at them. In fact, the AI tends to do that quite a bit, which is actually to our advantage. Well, we have barely maxed out half our pop. Well, I guess if that's the case, we haven't really maxed it out, have we? And we also have even more reinforcements here, isn't that great? So you just hang out here, and that's pretty much all I have to say about this. You can also take a path through the mountains here, but then you just face more units, and there's just no reason to do that, because... Okay, there's something teal here. Man, you're almost impossible to see. And now you're very dead. Yep, don't mind me, just waiting here. As far as I know, there's no way to speed it up. Yeah, don't take out the commander immediately, because before unless the commander has been designated a target, you're going to soft lock yourself by killing the commander. Man, you really have to stop sending these trappers after me. Maybe those guys actually built something, because those were like green Americans. The other ones are blue Americans. As you can see on the radar here. Oh yeah, we should probably queue up more of you. How about that? Yeah, well, one more of you. But that's totally okay. And yeah, I think three training TPC are good. It seems we're not really having enough food to justify another one here. You just gave me all that lumber. Yeah, you do want a decent amount of lumber, because the last thing we need is having to manually renew our fields. It's a lot of work. You had to do that in the first version of this game here. It is so fiddly, especially in some later scenarios. You may want to have maybe 20 fields or so. So you need a lot of workers for that, so you do give up some pop slots for that, but at the same time you can also build a lot of cheap units very quickly. So you can just send them into the meat grinder and then fill the gaps. So that probably compensates for that. Yeah, so I'm just going to wait here until the goals change. I don't think destroying the cannons actually does anything for us. I think it might just get everyone killed. We could go for it, because we have nothing else to do. Yeah, let's maybe give it a go. Let's just see how many guys there are and how long we last. We're not going to use our expensive fire arrow shooters for that. Oh, there's a lot of guys here. So we can get up this ramp here. If you get up one of these ramps here, you're very slow and you can't see into the shroud until you're actually on top. So it makes you very vulnerable. Our people are under attack, are they? I guess they are. That's okay. Just come over here. And it looks like we're going to destroy some cannons. These guys used to have 70 hit points until they were patched, so keep that in mind. Those guys used to be a lot weaker. As you can see, we need to fire a lot of arrows. Wow, we didn't lose anyone. That's a remarkable. In this case, let's just look how much food we get. You can just spam arrow shooters like it's nothing. Let's wait a little bit to regenerate here. Not an eternity, but we can wait a little bit. And then we're going to destroy the next cannon. 200 hit points. Considerable, but I mean, these guys have 140, so it's not actually that much. There we go. Lost only one guy, that's fine with me. And let's destroy the next cannon. Yeah, this isn't so bad. We might need some reinforcements, but I think we can probably... Yeah, we can probably take the last cannon with these guys here too. May as well do that, but yeah, keep in mind you don't actually need to do that. Or at least at one point the game's going to tell you, yeah, whatever. Okay. Actually, you know what, let's still kill the cannon first. That has worked before, it's going to work now. There we go. And there we go. There we go. So yeah, if you wait long enough, you're going to get... Oh, there's a warehouse with guns, but transporting those is going to be a lot of hassle. Yeah, so if you just wait a little bit longer, maybe like half an hour into the mission or so, then they tell you to just ignore the cannons. In fact, they tell you now. Okay, so we can take down the chief's TP. And then we can actually transport stuff, because this guy here can... Yeah, so there's a Roman nose. We actually have to wait for a Roman nose, because that's another soft lock thing, because now the game has shifted the goalpost and stated, well, you don't need to destroy the cannons, you just need to kill everyone in the fortification. That is still not our final goal. Our final goal is to destroy the commander. So this guy here can actually fold together tents. There we go. By the way, you keep the pop if you do that. And now you can unpack tents here, but that doesn't actually work with the chief's TP. So I'm not quite sure why they tell you to do that, because as far as I know, you can't actually do that. And I don't think you can just give up your HQ and then rebuild another one here. So maybe that was planned at one point to be a mechanic that you can do, that you can have like mobile buildings for everything, including your HQ. Let's say like the Terrans and StarCraft. But we could actually build another training TP, because we sure have a lot of forces here. But we're not going to do that, because if you can do it, then the manual doesn't mention it. I tried to look it up and I don't know how to do that. But anyway, we're not going to attack right now, even though we could easily overrun everyone, because we're going to wait for Roman Nose here and his troops, who are just hanging out here. Just hanging out. There's Roman Nose. He gets his own portrait. Also, thanks for checking by my granary. And they're going to attack the fort at one point. But we're going to get to that. So there we go. Let's not be in their ways, lest we like destroy more triggers or something like that. And they're going to just march in here, in this conga line here, which is probably not the most efficient way of doing that, but whatever. Who am I to judge? Stop that, please. Didn't even kill my worker here, and that worker just took it. Okay, you're going to get more guys added to your team. There we go. Okay, now we get this cutscene here. And because there's about 10,000 trappers, Roman Nose is just going to get himself shot. Very definitely. Even though it takes quite a long while, because he's kind of tough. There we go, and dead. There we go. Okay. This is our actual final objective. So now we have these guys here arrived on this island here via horse, unless this island here is connected to the mainland, which may be. Well, we'll see once these guys here arrive. So let's get over here. We don't have enough living space. That's totally okay. In fact, we're already above. So you just come over here. once these guys here have arrived. And now our final objective is to destroy the enemy commander, Beecher. And that's your actual objective. So now no more shifting the goalposts after this. This is actually what you have to do. Don't do it prematurely, otherwise you're going to... That's a lot of trappers. Okay, but I have a lot of arrows to shoot, so let's just murder all of them. We're going to have some losses here, but it's okay. Even if you lose everyone here, we can always just build more guys, so it's not really that big of a deal. Someone just murdered that horse. Damn, that's a lot of trappers. Do they only have trappers? Do they even have regular troops? Oh, hello. This guy here occasionally hides in the tower. But not this time, apparently. Wait a second, is that even Beecher? Or was it just a generic commander? I think that was just a generic commander, but whatever. It's okay, we can kill everybody else too. So let's destroy you here. Yeah, so I think these guys are actually building trappers, because they had way too many for them to not do that. There we go, that's still so many trappers. So yeah, this has to be Beecher. Yeah, it's Lieutenant Beecher. So time for you to die. There we go. And do we still have to murder everybody else? I'm pretty sure we do not. But let's see. If we do, it's not a problem. We have the resources to do so. Okay. Still some more trappers left, but that's okay. And you should be the final trapper. And boom. Everybody's dead. Okay. Don't tell me this wasn't it, because they clearly told us to... Actually, there's still one guy left. So I guess we do have to kill everybody else as well. That's okay with me. There we go. So everybody's dead now. That should be... There we go. We have one indeed. Yeah, this was actually pretty easy. Not because there aren't many US troops around, just because you have all the time in the world. There's actually exactly zero pressure on you. And you don't really need the fire arrow guys all that desperately, so you don't even need to worry about gold or anything. You can just spam your regular arrow guys and everything's going to be fine. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Take care and goodbye.